Hello, my name is Teneale.
My name is Sheldon Bailey.
Francis David Lansing.
I'm an actress.
Actor.
I am an actor.
And I live in downtown Los Angeles, otherwise known as DTLA.
I now reside in Hermosa Beach.
I live here in Los Angeles.
A typical day in my life would pretty much be not typical. My life varies day to day, so I have to get up with an agenda as to what I'm going to accomplish for that day. So today you can have opportunity to travel with me on my journey to go to a photo shoot. My agent wants me to diversify my look, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a new photo shoot.
My days usually consist of getting up early in the morning. I have he's 3. He actually turned 3 years old today, and consists of early mornings with him, getting him prepared, ready to go to daycare, preschool, and getting my day started. Taking care of my knees, physical therapy. I played professional basketball for 3 years. Had 5 knee surgeries, so I have to maintain that with the physical therapy. Basketball is still a big part of my life. It's really how Solomon and I eat. I have a couple commercials running on TV right now. Buffalo Wild Wings commercial, Nike Human Chain is coming out, and then photo doubling for LeBron in the new State Farm commercial. So I gotta make sure these knees are good and healthy. Then we went to audition. So that's a big part of my life, audition process every day. So I was going ahead and put in that work, hit this audition, try to land it, get this visibility. They're gonna let the cameras in here, we don't think so. So y'all just follow me up, wish me luck. So I just knocked that out. I think it went really well. It's always good whenever you got the casting director laughing and things like that. So we'll see how everything plays out. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully y'all see me on ABC on Donald Trump's new show.
So generally my days are pretty routine, although my routine has changed recently because I got a couple new jobs. One of them is an overnight job, and so that throws everything off. But what I intend to do with my day is start off with some meditation and a couple pages from a personal growth and development book, get my mind right, be ready to receive and accept all the goodness of the day. And then I'll hit the gym, maybe go for a run, get in maybe like an hour or 2 at the gym, keep my body right, and then the day begins. So I'll either go to work, I have a serving job downtown here, works pretty well with flexibility for auditioning, or I'll go do some research at the library, work on the computer, read a script, all the typical actor stuff you could possibly think of. That's what I fill my afternoon with when I'm not working. And then come to nighttime, I try and hit up like a local improv jam or some kind of an open mic something, so I can put my creativity out there. So sometimes it's spoken word, sometimes it's improv. Got off work and I had a cup of coffee right after my shift, and we're here on like Sunset in La Brea, so like in the heart of Hollywood. And every Monday night at this specific theater, there's an open improv jam, and it's like maybe 40 to 50 people come out consistently, and it's all levels. It's like beginners all the way up to people that are like established in troops that have studied. And this is my way of just kind of staying sharp. So like I guess in basketball, the way that like you start every practice stretching and doing layups, this is kind of like the training grounds to make sure that I still got the fundamentals down. It'll be a good night, a lot of good energy, very supportive crowd. Just make sure that, you know, the yes ending, not asking any questions, all the basic stuff. Make sure that I stay with it whenever I can. So we're gonna have a good time tonight.
Easy as I make it look, is it? Crazy when people just walk around and do the same thing that you do. It's just amazing how homeless people just make so much money collecting money off the ground. How much do you guys?
not having a car until I was in the situation. I got a lot of tickets, and then I got a boot and couldn't pay. Let's just say the tickets were more than what my car was worth at the time, so I just opted to let the car go. It has made me extremely responsible. I have had to schedule everything in my life down to a T, because you have to understand, when you're catching the train or the bus, it's on schedule, and so you cannot you have no room for error.
Gotta make sure everything is scheduled. Gotta make sure Solomon's things are scheduled, and I have time for him, and at the same time, I gotta make sure my stuff doesn't conflict with his, and then we're also able to spend a lot of time together. So I gotta ride all the way up to Burbank sometimes North Hollywood, sometimes Santa Monica, back and forth, sometimes 3 of those places, to make sure I take care of my auditions and my callbacks and things, and keep my acting career moving forward. I'm glad that I have the type of job that I have that's kind of free-flowing, but sometimes it's time demanding, and I need help. I'm by myself. I'm a single father. His mother lives in Reno, and so whenever he's with me, I'm responsible for him and spending time with him, and I try to spend as much time with him as possible. So I take him to daycare, but I try not to leave him in daycare too long. Just try to get my business out of the way, and then go get him, and he and I can go forward. But it's a necessary. It's something that's necessary.
I do not have a permanent physical residence or address. I have a P.O. box, and I live in my car, which is actually very, very convenient, because I have my entire living situation everywhere I go. And I find that helps me get to where I need to go at my jobs, 2 auditions, to go hang with my friends, to go to the beach. And it's funny, because whenever I go to the beach and I decide to crash out at the beach, then that's my backdrop. So to some people, it's like, oh man, you're living in your car, Frank. No, man, it's like, yes, I'm living in my car, but I'm living in my car, and I'm living large in my car. I like to say that I'm balling on a budget. I've got my life kind of very organized in my car, and so I'm just living the dream right now.
It really humbled me, being, an avid transit rider, public transportation participant. But what it did was it allowed me the freedom to be able to write. So I can pick up my journal as I'm going on a journey to go to an audition, and contemplate my thoughts and how I feel. On the ride home, I'm not thinking about, I have to get this lane so I can exit and go here. I'm really just sitting there enjoying the ride, so I could be cathartic about my experience and how I felt. And that transfers very well for me, because with Verbally Loud, I'm able to take those thoughts, put it into poetry, and really allow people to explore the ride with me. Verbally Loud is all the thoughts, and all the emotions, and all the expressions that you could possibly muster under a word, put together in a presentational piece for others to be able to take part in. That's what it is. It has no race, creed, sex, gender specific. It is everybody. It's a heartbeat.
As far as poetry is concerned, I really want to take poetry as far as it can go. I see no ceiling for poetry, and I continue to try to take poetry to different venues that it hasn't been before. Verbally Loud, I like Verbally Loud, and I'm very thankful for Teneale for the opportunity of having Verbally Loud and being able to do this project and to be able to express myself. As poets, sometimes we don't always have a lot of venues to be able to express myself, so I think it's another cool venue, and it's different. I like the family atmosphere in there. It's kind of like being in the living room, and everybody in there is cool, and we have great relationships as far as the poets are concerned amongst each other, and we support each other whenever we see one another at different spots and things like that. And I'm thankful for Teneale bringing me in and giving me the opportunity, and always introducing me well and things like that. It's a really cool spot.
So I started doing spoken word not too long ago, and it actually first started off when I auditioned for my first agent here in LA. I wrote a piece, and it ended up being a spoken word piece, because I felt like a typical monologue wouldn't get me a commercial agent, so I had to show a little more pizzazz. So I wrote a piece, and that's kind of what started. It was just like a rhythmic piece. It was more just like rhyming. And I referenced Michael Jackson and what I aspired to do. And I used that most recently at a spoken word event called Verbally Loud here downtown in LA. And that was probably about 2 months ago. So I kind of find it as a way to just be expressive in a non-structured format, because for the most part people go in there just to express something that's on their mind, something they feel passionate about, and then to arrange the words in a creative fashion. And so I've kind of done that, and like that's really just based off of like musical influences. I listen to a lot of Motown and hip hop, and so when you combine those, it makes for like a pretty good message that I feel like I have to share. So generally what I share in my poetry is just like the optimism and the faith that I have that everything works out for a reason, and we all have something to contribute to the world.
The thing is, sometimes I'll call a friend and they might be back home from Texas, and I'll be venting and telling them the roller coaster ride that it is in a journey to follow acting, and they'll be like, why don't you just quit? And I just can't. There's something calling my name. My heart beats fast when I come up with a creative endeavor. When I find a piece that I can just totally see me doing, and I can get involved in emotionally and mentally, and I can totally see it. And then I just get all wrapped up into it. My heart starts beating fast and I can't let it go. So I could go back to corporate America and I could have a stable life and it would be easy to get there. But then emotionally, I don't think I would be happy. I would be depressed. And so I have to cultivate that energy, that creative side of myself first. And I believe that when I can make myself happy underneath that realm, everything else will follow.
I do it basically inspired by those people who came before me and didn't necessarily have the opportunities. And then I also feel like since I do have a talent, I'm trying to exploit my talent to the best of my ability to be somewhat, I don't know, of a light or a beacon of hope for kids coming up who don't feel like they have any chance, or they don't feel like they can make it, or they can't put out a book, or they can't be on TV or play professional basketball, whatever. Whatever their vision is, I try to help inspire people to be able to follow their dreams and to be able to follow their hearts.
Ideally, it's not the typical lifestyle. I feel like most artists, the struggle is kind of a difficult word to associate with artists, but that's usually what happens. Like they struggle because they got to hold jobs that are flexible, that will allow you to audition, take classes, and oftentimes that means that you're not going to keep a steady job for a long time. I've been fortunate enough to have jobs that have allowed me to continue some kind of a lifestyle where I can pursue my dream. And it's not a big deal. I feel like I'm a free-spirited person where I can adapt to any kind of environment and I get along with most people. I'm looking to make connections, so it's not difficult for me to chameleonize myself to make things happen. And if that requires me living in my car for a little bit, working random dead-end jobs for a couple months, that's the price that I'm willing to pay, because the dream is so beautiful and that vision is so extravagant and elaborate, and it involves like all these random people that I come across. So there's nothing more I could ask for. It's just to like be myself, allow my creativity to fuel my dream, and hope that the right people will come across at the right time.
Where I see myself in 5 years, I have so many plans. I want to be an actress, renowned writer.
5 years from now, I see myself as a major player in the game, as an actor, producer.
Kind of like those challenging character roles in films is where I'm headed for the next couple of years.
I'm very diverse in my writing range.
As far as my writing, acting, and production are concerned, like these are the things that I'm really focused on now.
That means that I have to write the role, or if I have to seek out people that are willing to think outside the box and create characters and roles for someone that looks like me, because I have the same emotional capacity as any other human being, then that's what I aspire to do.
Show different range of my acting ability.
You can look forward to seeing me on television a lot more.
Break the mold, and I want to be like an action hero, an action comedic hero. I want to be like a Filipino James Bond.
If you can see it, you can achieve it.
I have to work and I have to push my career.
Steps towards the dream, and it'll all be good when I'm on over.
If I want it, I go get it. So get ready, because here I